Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're dreaming of living and working in Spain, and you've probably already looked up the official rules for the Digital Nomad Visa. But today, we're going way beyond the basics. We're going to give you the insider's playbook, the actual strategy to navigate this process and get it right the first time.
You can almost taste it, right? Trading in your usual desk for a table at a sun-drenched cafe in Spain. It's an amazing dream. But let's be real, there's also that nagging fear in the back of your mind. What if I go through all that hassle, all that paperwork, and my application gets rejected?
And look, that fear isn't coming from nowhere. A lot of applications do get denied. But here's the thing, it's almost always because of totally avoidable mistakes. That's what this explainer is for, to show you the strategic way through so you can sidestep all those common traps.
Okay, first things first. Before we even talk about strategy, we have to make sure you clear the initial hurdles. These are the absolute non-negotiable requirements you've got to meet.
Your entire application really boils down to three key things: how much money you make, your professional background, and the kind of work you do. So let's break down exactly what you need for each one.
All right, let's talk numbers. First up, income. As of early 2026, you need to prove you're making at least 2,849 euros a month. Now that number is actually tied to Spain's minimum wage. It's 200% of it to be exact. So that figure can change, but for right now, that's the magic number.
Second, your experience. You have to show that you're qualified for the work you do. You can do this with a relevant university degree. But hey, if you don't have one, no problem. You just need to show at least 3 years of professional experience in your field.
And finally, your actual work. Here's the rule. At least 80% of your work has to be for companies that are located outside of Spain. Now, you can have a Spanish client, but that part of your work can't be more than 20% of your total income.
So once you've checked those boxes, income, experience, remote work, you arrive at a fork in the road. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. The path you choose right here is the single most important decision in this whole process.
Believe it or not, what most people have no idea about is that there isn't just one official way to do this. There are actually two completely different routes you can take, and one of them is frankly just way better than the other.
So here are your two options. Route number one is what most people think of. You apply from the Spanish consulate in your home country. But route two, and this is the strategic move, is to enter Spain legally as a tourist and then apply from inside the country. And the difference between these two paths is just night and day. If you go the consulate route, you get a 1-year visa, the process can drag on for 3 to 7 months, and the rules are all over the place. People call it the consulate lottery for a reason. But if you apply from inside Spain, you get a 3-year residency permit right off the bat. It's way faster, like 1 to 3 months, and the rules are standardized across the country. So yeah, the choice is pretty clear.
Okay, so you've made the smart choice. You're going to apply from within Spain. Awesome. Now we need to focus on the 3 biggest hurdles, the places where even the most organized people see their applications fall apart.
Pay close attention here because these next 3 things are the top application killers. Getting these details right is absolutely 100% critical for getting approved.
First up, the Social Security trap. You have to prove you have Social Security coverage. Now, for Americans, there's a treaty that looks like it solves this problem. But here's the trap. The U.S. Social Security Administration itself says that treaty does not apply to remote workers. They just won't issue the certificate you need. So, the safest, most reliable way to handle this is to plan on registering as a self-employed worker or autónomo in Spain.
Second, health insurance. And listen, you can't just use any old travel insurance policy. Spain is very specific. You need a private policy from an insurance company that's authorized to operate in Spain, and, this is the crucial part, it has to be sin capago, which literally means no co-payments. It ensures you have full coverage with no surprise bills. Anything else is an instant rejection. And third, you have to understand that this whole thing is a moving target. The rules literally change all the time. A couple years ago, a simple letter from your employer was fine. Now, they're often asking for official tax records. A company's certificate that used to just be a signed PDF now needs something called an official apostille, which is basically an international certification to prove the document is legit. You have to stay on top of these changes.
So, after jumping through all these hoops, you might be asking, why is this all worth it? Well, let's talk about the incredible payoff that's waiting for you once you get that approval.
And this doesn't have to be a solo adventure. You can absolutely bring your family with you. For your spouse or first family member, you just need to show an extra 916 euros a month. And for every additional person, like a child, it's another $305 on top of that.
Now, let's talk about one of the biggest financial game changers. You can qualify for something called the Beckham Law. Instead of paying Spain's standard income tax, which can climb all the way up to 47%, you could pay a simple flat rate of just 24% for your first 6 years. I mean, the tax savings can be massive. And finally, this is your direct path to a long-term future in Europe. You start with that 3-year permit, then you renew it for another 2 years. And after just 5 years of living in Spain legally, you become eligible for permanent residency. That gives you the right to live and work in Spain forever, no more renewals.
Okay, let's bring it all home and quickly recap the core strategy. Here are the 4 key things you need to remember for a successful application.
Number 1, always apply from within Spain to get that 3-year permit right away. 2, solve the Social Security puzzle by planning to register as autónomo. 3, get the right Spanish health insurance. Make sure it says sin capogo. And 4, once you're there, apply for the Beckham Law to save a ton on taxes.
When you follow this strategy, what seems like a really overwhelming and confusing process becomes a clear step-by-step plan. You officially have the insider's playbook. So the only real question left is, are you ready to start your adventure?